brakes as well, and he just lost momentum.
And once you lose that draft, there's
car
no
goes
getting
around.
back.
I think it's the 07 going around up there in 3 and 4.
Boyer has crashed.
Yeah.
Very possibly cut
a
the tire down.
He did. I saw it snap.
Caution is out, which is a huge break again for Tony Stewart in that 20 car. Not a good break for Clint Boyer, but for sure Tony.
Now Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon were side by side at the moment of caution. This is the first incident with Boyer.
Well, there in the middle.
Just gets up a little too high.
Wide up top. Four wide way up top.
That's a hard lick in that wall at that speed.
Four wide there. Just hold your line.
Trying to make it around to the pits or trying to ride it out. There it goes.
Yeah, you see the right front tire looked like may have gone first. We saw the smoke from the tires. I questioned leaving him out.
He's had such a great year, but these restrictor plate racetracks, they have not been good to him. Remember, he finished the Daytona 500 across the start-finish line on his roof, and a bad day here on lap 8. This will make it, if we can cycle through these green flag stops, it'll make it where it's a one-stop race.
Casey Mears.
And you know what? I'm not so sure this isn't a product. I think he was trying to get the pit road because he was one of the cars that needed the pit.
Got punted by Jimmy coming in.
And it sounds like he
fired up.
may have gotten turned by his teammate.
But I definitely think Casey Mears.
Larry.
Yeah. Let's see. He's right here. He is
right in the front of the pack.
But you know, Larry. Yeah. I mean, he's up a little high. Man, that's a hard lick.
Hit.
But he was up a little bit too high there, trying to get. You know, he should have been a little lower, maybe. I don't know.
Let's watch from Jimmy Johnson's on board.
See right here, he moves. Coming through the corner, he moves out a little bit.
My question would be, did he give a good solid hand signal, especially going down the back straightaway to let those guys?
Took out the 48 for the win. At that time, the driver was Brian Vickers. The other irony is that Tony Stewart, who's now steaming up the outside. Oh,
trouble.
Ricky Rudd in the wall.
Trouble back there.
Nemechek around. Kyle Busch.
You know what? I'm not so sure that wasn't started. Oh, is that Dale?
Jeff Burton, 31 car. Kyle Busch, another wreck today, just like yesterday.
And a very hard hit.
That is crash. He's old. There's a window net coming down.
Oh, it's good to be 21, Darrell.
Nemechek's car crashed.
Kyle's going to drive it back.
He's going to try to.
I don't think it's going to go anywhere but in a circle, and if he's not careful, it's going to cook that engine because you know the radiator, you can see the water running out from
the outside.
Yeah, they're right. They're right here. Here's the 48 car right here.
But the 96, Tony Raines, looks like he got up into Jimmy Johnson, the 48, initially off turn 2, I believe, Darrell.
I believe you're right, Larry. I saw the 48 move. Gosh, that's a hard lick by those two cars. Good thing the safer barrier is there again.
Let's look from the rear bumper of Kevin Harvick's Pennzoil Chevy.
Oh. Man, look at Nemechek's car go airborne. And then Kyle Busch's car goes airborne when it hits the rear wheels come off the ground.
You're riding with Jeff Burton.
Oh, man. Oh. Oh. Oh, gosh.
That was when the 5 car.
Listen, y'all, I know you don't know what that feels like. Unless you've been in one of these crashes, you can't imagine how that hurts.
The good news, Darrell, everybody is either driving back like Jeff to trigger this.
Oh, it sure looks like it. I don't know if there was contact between the 96 and the 48, but there definitely was movement enough to push him over into Ricky Rudd in the 88.
And just a chain reaction behind him with all these other cars.
Look at those two cars, the 31 and the 5 come together, collide. That's definitely what happened, Larry. The 96 scooted up the hill just enough to get into the left front of Jimmy Johnson, and there was Ricky Rudd, forced him into the wall.
Now watch the 13 come across.
Bam.
He got turned around by his teammate Sterling Marlin trying to slow down.
Look at that 5 car. It was flying backwards.
There is contact, we're told.
That's all it takes is just that little nudge. You can run this close together all day long until somebody does something like that, and then it's gonna affect a lot of guys.
Boy, those two cars scrubbed off no speed whatsoever on the way to the inside wall.
There have been a lot of racetracks where the safer barrier has not been installed, or at least in the past, on the inside walls. Man, thank God for that.
Cars at least on the ground.
All right, let's join Krista with Casey Mears.
A lot of
brings us under caution. The reason, Juan Pablo Montoya got up and into the wall, perhaps after contact from Ryan Newman here.
You can see the speed difference right there on Montoya in the 42 car, Ryan Newman the 12. It was about 5-6 miles an hour difference, Newman being the faster car.
And that really pancaked the right side of his Haviland number 42. And get a big restart and get away from the pack, because then they'll draft on by him.
I think McMurray is going to try to jump all over him like a frog on a June bug.
Green flag. Johnson to the inside.
And there goes Kurt Busch in the 2 car with him, pushing him. They're going to trap McMurray in the 26 on the high side.
Boy, I'll say, look at him fan out. High, low, high, low. Somebody help me. Oh.
There goes Stewart, the 20 to the high side with no help. They're 3 wide off turn 2.
Boys, trouble. It's over.
There's the caution. There is the caution right there. Only one attempt at this green-white check.
And Stewart has crashed. While everyone lifted for the caution flag, Tony Stewart ended up in the wall.
We certainly know that Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, was leading this race at the time of caution. Now, one thing that differs from determining the restart order after a caution in the race is they'll go to where the cars were at the minute the caution came out as far as the finishing order.
They're all coming up to speed, and there was a lot of blocking going on. You see Gilliland, I just saw him cut down in front of Tony.
Kenseth got into Sauter. Sauter's still okay. 4 wide.
4 wide, and no, the 16 comes down, catches the 70, but there's action in front of these guys.
Well, Elliott Sadler and the 16 got together. That's what caused the wreck. But when everybody
right here, you see the 38 and Tony.
Who tipped David Gilliland around?
Somebody must have. Was it 26?
Ouch.
Man, that's a hard hit, and there's no safer barrier there.
No, we may see from another angle who tipped Gilliland.
They go way up there.
I mean, the 16 Biffle just came down on Elliott Sadler, and Johnny Sauter, the 70, ended up being the victim there, and Elliott Sadler was able to continue.
NASCAR will determine at what moment they lit up the caution lights.
Let's see what happens. There's Tony on the high, up on the outside. They see a wreck behind them.
McMurray.
Somebody
got into the back of David Gilliland in that 38 car as well, which I think was all part of that equation right there.
Boy, and then there, you see down here where Tony hits the wall, there's no safer barrier there. You can see it stops at that opening back there. That's a hard driver lick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 26 is there. The 38.
The silver car.
The 38's kind of coming up, and McMurray's kind of caught in the trap.
Yeah, I mean, I know Tony's upset with Jamie right now. I'm not sure Jamie could do a whole lot about that.
Checkered flag waves on Jeff Gordon. His 77th career NASCAR Nextel Cup victory.